You're watching Pittsburgh Steelers Talk by Chat Sports. I am Tom Downey. We've got some juicy quarterback rumors out there today. Kenny Pickett, Mason Rudolph, and even Baker Mayfield once again as well. But we like to get to know our audience here at Chat Sports. So our question of the day, where are you guys watching from? I'm talking like city, state, whatever, not like phone or laptop. We're talking about location. So, or restroom, as producer Jeremy says in my room. Yeah, don't tell us that. We want to know what city or state you guys are watching from. Let us know in the comments section. Baker Mayfield had been heavily linked to the Pittsburgh Steelers leading up to this year's NFL draft. And with Pittsburgh taking a quarterback in round one, I think we can effectively eliminate the Steelers as a Baker Mayfield destination. He is still on the Browns, and it would appear that, well, nobody wants Baker Mayfield. There was a report idea from Daniel Jeremiah that maybe the Giants are interested in signing Baker Mayfield in the event he ends up getting cut by the Browns. Here's what Jeremiah had to say on his podcast. Quote, "The team I mentioned was the Giants. I just thought if you don't pick up the fifth-year option on Daniel Jones, I just think you want to have a competition. And maybe that gets the best out of Daniel Jones, or maybe Baker comes in there and flat out just beats him out and off you go as the QB. So we'll see what ends up happening as it relates to Baker Mayfield. But it would be very funny to me if the Browns were unable to find Baker Mayfield and they had to straight up just cut him, which would be the nightmare scenario, of course, for the Cleveland Browns, and would be pretty funny for the Pittsburgh Steelers to have like, oh, well, you could sign Baker if you want, and Baker, I'm sure, would love to stick to Cleveland, but with the drafting of Kenny Pickett, I kind of don't think that is what ends up happening. To poke some fun at our Browns friends, we'll make this the pinned comment on today's video. Give me your one-word reaction if the Browns do get stuck with Baker Mayfield. This will be the pinned comment on today's video. So if the ad break comes on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know. My one word would be LOL, which is 3 letters, 1 word. We're going to keep it even though we're cheating there. It'd be funny, right? Like the Browns pay all this money to Deshaun Watson, go all in, then get stuck holding the bag with $18.8 million of Baker Mayfield. I kind of think their best case scenario is somebody takes on most or at least some of the contract and the Browns eat a little bit of it as well. Speaking of trades for QBs, a lot of questions now about what exactly will the Steelers do with Mason Rudolph. His cap hit this year is $4.04 million. There's not that much guaranteed. The Steelers would save about $3 million if they were to cut or trade Mason Rudolph, who clearly is at best going to be a backup for this organization. With the additions of Mitchell Trubisky and Kenny Pickett, Trubisky has the advantage over Rudolph as the stopgap starter, and then Kenny Pickett, of course, is now clearly this team's long-term hopeful franchise QB, which isn't a huge surprise. I know there were still some Mason Rudolph truthers out there. If you still exist, you can type me in the comments. I'll give you guys credit for sticking by your guy. I kind of don't think he's going to have much of a path to earning any real playing time. 2019, when he was a starter, he did a little bit of things here. Now, my expectation is publicly the Steelers will say, yes, Mason Rudolph has a chance to compete for the starting job. Like, he'll be in there in the mix. We also know this. There are only so many reps with the ones you can actually get. He's not going to get a lot of those, I don't believe, over Trubisky, over Pickett, unless one of those other 2 players is really bad in the preseason and the training camp. So I don't think he's going to win the job, which puts him now as more likely quarterback 3, and that $4 million on your salary cap, that's a little bit of a premium cost to pay for a QB3. I think they want to carry 3 QBs, and I doubt the 7th-round pick, Chris Dukin, is going to be the guy, mispronounced last name, whatever, is going to be ready to be quarterback 3 coming from a very small school level. So do you want to pay Kenny Pickett or pay Mason Rudolph, just say the $3 million you would save if you were to cut him to back up Mitch Trubisky and Kenny Pickett? I am curious what you guys have to say here. Type K for keep. Mason Rudolph, C for cut him, or type in T for trade. Sound off in the comment section, and while you guys are down there, make sure you're a part of the Noti Gain. Over 1,000 new subscribers this past week. Thank you all so much. Really appreciate every single one of you who have subscribed for our Steelers coverage. What you might not realize is when you first subscribe, your notifications are not set to all. They're defaulted to personalized, which means you will miss out on video. So hit the bell again where you subscribe the first time. It'll pop a little drop-down menu. Change it from personalized to all. That way, every time there's a new Pittsburgh Steelers video from us here at Chat Sports, you'll get a notification. Go do that right now. Next up, we'll spend some more time on Kenny Pickett as head coach Mike Tomlin has chimed in on his new hopeful franchise quarterback option. Here's what Tomlin had to say on Pickett. There were two things that really attracted to us from a floor standpoint. We thought he had pro-level anticipation. We thought he had pro-level accuracy. Oftentimes, those are two variables that really require a lot of adjustment from a quarterbacking standpoint. Tomlin continued, we felt he came ready-made in those ways, and hopefully that's an asset for him in terms of being able to compete and being ready if performance dictates it. Now, that kind of makes it sound like Pickett will have a chance to compete. I don't know if performance dictates it means he's going to come in and immediately fight for the role, or if performance dictates it means Pickett impresses and he starts, or if Trubisky struggles and then Pickett gets inserted into the starting lineup. He's already 24 years old. Pickett is a bit more polished than some of the other quarterbacks because I think the anticipation and especially the accuracy comments from Mike Tomlin were very much accurate from that standpoint there. Pickett is not a flawless prospect. There are some issues he tends to run into under pressure. He's not like he's not Joe Burrow 2.0. That is why he went down there at pick 20 as opposed to being a top 15 or even top 10 pick. Now, Tomlin did say this, that Pickett certainly has a chance to start, and I wouldn't expect anything different. This is your team's first-round quarterback, first-round pick. In general, with some exceptions, you want that QB to take over that job sooner than later. Pickett is not a Mahomes-style QB where you want to give him a year. You probably want to get him out there and maximize that very cheap and very affordable rookie quarterback contract. So how many games, if any, will Kenny Pickett start this season? I want you guys to make your predictions for me in the comment section right now.